Good morning, YouTube. And if you're watching this as a rerun, you can skip ahead about 10 to 15 minutes before we start the live broadcast. Just getting things wrapped up, ready to go here, and warmed up for the radio stations so they can check audio quality and times and all that good stuff. So there you go. Chillier than shit this morning. It is 40 degrees in the studio this morning because there's no heat out here. I got a little electric milk house heater right here. And this thing is not doing nothing. All right. It is. I don't realize. Were we supposed to get this damn cold? Let's see what it's there at the ranch. This morning at the ranch. Come on. It is 12 above with a wind chill of 5 below zero. And the current wind speed. Where is that? Here it is. West wind at 18 to 25, gusting to 30 miles an hour all day long. Yeah. But wait, there's more. Tomorrow it'll be 44 degrees and no wind. I'll take it. Morning, Dave. Good to have you along here. We're listening in over there in the Minnesota side. Waylon, good morning. Bum diggity to you too. Jesse, feel you on the cold. It's 48 here in Phoenix as the sun comes up. Oh, wow. Damn, guys. Morning, Scott. Filling in for Todd. Good morning, Magic Mike. Oh, jeez. Crazy. That's cool in here. Morning, one shot. Yikes. Well, I suppose. Let's do my... So, being kicked off... Ooh, that's nice and chilled this morning. Being kicked off of the old Tiki Talk for doing a shot of ivermectin. Anyway, to meet their community guidelines, they took that video down. And the video wasn't me actually drinking. It was just me pouring it, and then you see it disappear, and it's gone, right? No human at all in the video. They said it didn't meet their community guidelines. And then the next thing you look on TikTok, there's a girl half naked dancing in front of them. So not sure what your community guidelines are at all. But I did get a person yesterday. They called me up and they asked, we have a neighbor that cannot get better. How much do you take and what do you take? And I told them what I do. And I'm waiting to hear back here by tomorrow. I said, give it 24 hours. So we'll see. Cheers to you. Brr. So cold in here. All right, let's get Shelby lined up here. Can't even see the damn numbers.
We're sorry. The party you have dialed is not accepting calls at this time.
I better text her that. Give her boyfriend a call then. Maybe he's not accepting calls either. Something fishy. Oh, there we go. Maybe he's not either.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Shelby.
Hey, I don't know. My phone has been acting up really weird lately. Where it'll not let me take calls sometimes. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Happened to me last week. I couldn't make calls and then shut it off and it was fine. But I don't know why mine isn't working.
Well, I have a number for you to call, and then you can call in here, and I'll just hook you guys up separately.
Okay, yeah. Is it just the 279?
Did one show up on your phone?
No,
Okay.
nothing.
I'll give you an 800 number
Okay.
or 888. You got to look at it. 932-5682.
Okay, 888-932-5682.
Correct.
Okay.
Lock this one on air. There you go, Shelby Armin. There you are.
Did it go through?
Yep, I hear you on
Oh,
both
no.
phones now. You may need to sit away from each other a little bit so I don't hear you guys in the background.
I know, maybe.
Unless you want to be on the same phone and just hand it back and forth. It doesn't matter to me, but it's kind of nice to have both of you on separate lines.
We can just call on separate lines.
Yeah, we're fine. Do you want me to step outside?
Don't need to be outside, just need to be so you're not like over much. You can't hear each other too much. I mean,
We're kind of like in an echoey hotel room. We're just in
oh,
Cody.
I see. Okay. Yeah, you might need to separate a little bit more if you want to get better sound.
But it's like one of the different hotels, so it's like not like a giant one with a giant lobby downstairs and the breakfast area, you know?
Yeah.
Little scouts and
All right, just now.
All right, stations. I'll give you a countdown stations here shortly. It's 6 minutes to showtime for you guys here, but stations. Countdown coming up 7 o'clock right on the nose. 8 o'clock Central Time if you're in that side of the river. On Mark. Okay. Connor, how the hell are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. What's the name of your YouTube channel again?
Brockhouse. It's just our last name.
Spell that for me, please.
Brockhouse.
Rockhouse.
Yes,
Cool.
sir.
Cool. Well, good deal. Good to have you on here with me. We're on YouTube. We're live on YouTube for 5.5 minutes till the show starts here on the radio stations. So there we go.
Awesome. I appreciate you having me on.
You bet. You bet. No, it's always good to find somebody in the hills down there. I see the last three here that have been on here have all three been taken where my little place is down in Lawrence County.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yeah. Good stuff here. Good stuff. So, Shelby, are you still with us too?
oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm just drinking my coffee.
And you guys can hear each other.
Yeah, I can hear Connor.
Okay. All righty. Let's see what we got here. Good to hear. That's 12 degrees and windy down here. 7 to 8 inches of snow this week. Yeah, we had about 8 inches this past week up here at the ranch. Morning, Wayne.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
I know we got like 6 inches down in the hills the last few days, which was nice because lately we haven't been getting a whole lot of snow, which obviously we need the moisture, and it makes it a little tough for people to get out to do some mountain lion hunting.
Yeah.
Nice to have a little fresh snow.
I thought for sure I'd cut tracks up here at the ranch. Usually every time we have a snow, I go to my feed grounds feeding cows and guaranteed, but this time nothing around here, just a lot of cow elk, just a ton of them.
Can you run hounds up there then on your ranch?
So they have two different seasons. Ours is in the fall, so our season is closed at this point, but they have a no hound season, and then the second part of the season is hounds only, or you can run hounds, and then they have a contingency season. If the quota hasn't been met, they might open it up for one or two more, but there's only like 6 that they allow us to take up in this area, so it gets filled up pretty quickly, I don't have hounds in my place, and nobody around me has hounds, so it's a little bit difficult for me to call up the person, be able to get them down here. It takes them about 3 hours to get to me, the nearest guy that has hounds that'll be able to do it. So
Right.
little more difficult. It's going to be the guy that got a cat on he got a 121-pound female a few years back here, just west of the house here, and he cut tracks and he was bow hunting and he went back to his pickup, got his 22 250 and went out and called it in. And
that's
yeah,
a good size female.
What's that?
That's a pretty good size female.
That's a really good size female.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that. I took my calf sled down there and it was just, I think we got it down there about midnight, and it took a long ways to get that sled pulled out of there, and finally got it to the nearest place we could actually get a vehicle into and pick it up.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
I bet.
And it's darker down. You're coming around. You're climbing through the. We live in a different type of Badlands in the South Dakota Badlands. Your guys just kind of go up. Ours go down. And we have this one. It's called Cedar Canyon, just thick lined with cedar trees. And we're going through this whole thing. And I'm leading the way because I had a spotlight. And we're sitting there BSing and talking. I'm like, "Where is it?" He's like, "Oh, it should be up here a little bit further." And I stepped like right on top of it, and that'll kind of shake you to the bone when you're not ready to see that.
Yeah, make the hair stand up a little bit.
Yeah, even though it's dead, it was still kind of a scary thing. So,
right.
We got the mayor Mobridge is down in Arizona, and he said his daughter outshot him yesterday. Shot the 357. Well, okay, good. He's down doing a lever action shoot down that way.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, good enough. Connor, what's your last name? Oh,
Brockhouse.
Brockhouse. That's right.
Yep.
I got you.
Yes, sir.
Answered my own question. So I got no heat in the little radio studio out here.
Ooh, that's
40. It dropped now. 41 degrees this morning in here.
He is. Yeah, it's cold here too.
It's cold in Cody here.
Oh, you're in Wyoming?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The only place you can drive on the interstate and you meet somebody and you both are pushing the wind.
Right.
All right, we got
hold
on. We got 30 seconds of showtime. I'm going to turn you guys down. We're going quiet here. Stations, 25 seconds to showtime. Stand by. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. It's all over the Dakota Territory. Heard on great stations like KCJB in Minot, North Dakota, K-Fire 550 Bismarck, Mandan, KLTC on the western edge in Dickinson, in South Dakota, KOLY, Mobridge, and the capital city and Pierre, KGFX. Good to have you all along here across the Dakota Territory and around the world here on my YouTube channel, broadcasting live, and I'm also live chatting there as well as my phone. You can feel free to send in some comments, questions on those lines. Also, you can call in 888-932-5682. That's 888-9-DAKOTA if you want to call in and talk a little bit this morning. Don't forget about the DK Red Angus sale coming up at the Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota on March 2nd. It's the Coming to Town sale here. It starts at 2 p.m. Central Time, selling 65 purebred Red Angus, 12 Angus sired bulls, 6 Red Black Sim Angus, and some Char Red Angus bulls as well, along with some commercial purebred heifers and commercial open heifers. And you can check that out at dkredangus.net. And we'll have that sale coming up. I'll be up that way. I'll be in Williston actually for 3 different sales. Coming up this morning, we're talking a little bit of mountain lion hunting. We're going to head to the Black Hills of South Dakota. Shelby Armin and Connor Brockhouse. Good morning, Shelby. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing great.
And Connor, good morning. Good to have you on first time on Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Good to have you there, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
And it's Brockhouse Outdoors, or just Brockhouse on YouTube if you want to see any of your hunting adventures, right?
Yep, it's just Brockhouse, plain and simple.
Brockhouse. Okay, I have my first question. This is for Connor. Now, you know that Shelby came from a kind of a hunting family here going on, right? She's a kind of a local TV star up this way.
Oh yeah,
A-
trust me, I've heard about
a-
it.
any pressure? Any pressure on that or not?
Not really. Maybe a little bit, but for the most part, she usually outshoots me anyway. So.
Okay. And my question for Shelby is, hunting with your dad and Kurt and Jason for all those years, a lot, different age group than Connor. What was different for changing hunting tactics, or if any? Is there any difference?
The biggest change for me was the spotting and stalking, because Dad and I and Kurt and Jason, we've always just ground blind hunted. So then I meet these little young pups, and we're just hauling all the time. Spotting and spooking is what I called it.
Your dad always says spot and spook. I'm a spot and stalker myself. I love doing that. But as you get older, it changes. There's no doubt. But filming is a lot harder, Connor, when you spot and stalk, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. When we run together, usually it's just like right over the shoulder, no tripods really. It's pretty raw type of footage compared to, if you're sitting in a ground blind and you can have everything set up and whatnot.
Now, Shelby, there's a little bit of difference in this. I mean, you were on, kind of cable TV side of things here, and you had to produce all this. And how different is it watching this type of filming when it's going on just a YouTube channel?
I'd say just the YouTube is, it's more like Connor was saying, raw, fast paced. You're kind of getting it's all the rough stuff too, which is kind of what people like nowadays, because you got all these kids that are just clicking through the reels and stuff like that and just want to see the kill shots and whatnot, compared to what my dad produced for many years and still is he's sitting down in the office. He's obviously a school teacher. I'm sure everybody knows that. And then he goes home and sits at the computer for 5-6 hours and edits on. So it's just two different. It still takes time to edit, but it's just two different eras of parts of the industry now, where you've got YouTube, which is a huge thing, and then the TV. So.
Yeah, you talk about a little bit more raw. There's a lot of people back, and when they're started to filming, they're always talking about, you need to show the story. You need to show the story. And, I think kind of what you guys do on Brockhouse is a little bit of what I do on my daily radio show. It's like you only have a short window to be able to jump out of the pickup, run down, and maybe get that coyote or whatever you're going after, and actually get that audio for me. For what you guys do, maybe some of the same thing. You have maybe something it happens so quick, especially when you're spotting stalking, that you need to be ready to go with that at any time. And it might only be a couple minutes long too, right?
Right, absolutely. Yeah, everything usually happens real fast.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, you can go to their YouTube channel called Brockhouse. I'm going to go watch some of those videos. I was expecting it to be a little bit warmer here today. They're expecting it to be about 40 degrees up here at the ranch. It's got a long ways to go for that here this morning, so I'm going to have time to watch some of these videos. But looking at the South Dakota mountain lion tally right now, total of 18, 10 females, 8 males. Yesterday, there was 3 mountain lions taken just in Lawrence County area, 2 males and 1 female. And right now, Connor, how are you doing on your mountain lion tally for yourself?
Good. I've killed 2 the last 2 years. This year I killed one opening day. We were able to get some fresh snow and was able to go out and get one. But I mean, in the hills, there's definitely, there's quite a few around, because every time we go out after, a fresh snow, you're looking at, you're probably going to cut a track, usually a really good track, if not multiple that day. So there's definitely quite a few rolling around. So it's nice that we can go out and, try to take care of as many as we can. There are people nowadays that are starting to bicker a little bit about the whole hounds, people wanting hounds. So it makes it a little interesting, but it's all good.
Do you find a little bit more of since COVID? I've noticed this the same thing with our little place in Lead. There was a lot of people moving in from out of state during COVID years, and it bumped up the price of real estate like crazy. Are you seeing some pushback from some of the anti-hunters moving into these Black Hills area now?
I personally haven't, but supposedly, so Custer State Park, which is down in the Black Hills, they give out a very few amount of mountain lion tags that you can run hounds with. And you got to be like a resident to apply. And supposedly there's these anti-hunters that are applying for this tag and then getting this tag and just obviously sitting on the tag so no one else can get it, which kind of does make sense because the last year I've noticed that, like, normally I always have at least a couple buddies that draw the tag, you know, and this year, like, I knew of pretty much no one that got the tag. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just what I've heard.
Yeah. Shelby, your thoughts on that? I think I see it. Well, honestly, it's happening in North Dakota on deer tags and elk tags. And I've known at least 3 people that are very anti-hunting that drew tags on purpose and not use them. Are you seeing any of that as well? Are you hearing it through the rumor mill?
I haven't heard much of the rumor mill. I just know that this year, when I was, you know, Dad was just saying something about, like, I'm probably not gonna be able to get a tag for the ranch this year because they're saying there's not enough deer. So I don't know what end that is on or whatnot, but it's just hard when, you know, Dad obviously manages the ranch like very well and, you know, can see the numbers. You just always wonder how, just as far as like even giving tags out, how accurate, you know, their numbers are and whatnot, like how many people are taking the surveys and whatnot.
Yeah. And it's going to be hard to measure that in either state if you know that, but that's definitely we're up against our first break here. Connor Brockhouse and Shelby Armin are my guest here this morning on Dakota Prairie Outdoors. You have questions, comments, feel free. You can call in and ask it at 888-932-5682. I'm live chatting on YouTube. You can also message me at 701-425-6651 on my cell phone, and we'll get that out there. More coming up after these messages. Join us in the seats Monday, March 4th for the Sorensen Ranch Production Sale. 1 p.m. Central Time, Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota. They're your source for Sim-Angus bulls that are bred for docility, longevity, fertility, and calves that'll push the scale down. Average birth weight of 80 pounds, average 205 weight of 756 pounds. Selling 42 Sim-Angus bulls and 50 commercial open heifers. For more information, call Lauren at 701-641-1140. The Sorensen Ranch Production Sale, Monday, March 4th, Sitting Bull Auction.
I'm Dale Paulke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner in ag lending. With our deep understanding and appreciation for the Western way of life, we proudly accept, respect, and promote the values that define our community. Whether you're a farmer, rancher, or business owner, we are here to support your financial needs and help you thrive. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for all your banking needs.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Hello, producers. This is Travis for Smith's Saddle Butte Ranch. I wanted to invite everyone to our President's Day Bull Sale on Monday, February 19th. We will be selling 50 bulls, none of which have been fed corn or creep a day of their life, just cows, milk, and grass. We don't need or want to mislead anyone about their true growth. Call me, Travis, at 605-641-5288 or check us out on Facebook. That's the Smith Saddle Butte Ranch Bull Sale, Monday, February 19th at 1 p.m. at Bowman Livestock Marketing in Bowman, North Dakota.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, Bowman, North Dakota. Upcoming sale dates, no sale on Monday, February 12th. On Monday, February 19th, is going to be a regular sale plus the Smith Saddle Butte Ranch Bull Sale plus bred cow sale. On Saturday, February 24th, is a feeder calf special, and Monday, February 26th, back to the regular sales. If you have any questions, you can contact Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs.
LBS Angus welcomes you to their 24th annual production sale, Monday, March 11th, 2 p.m. at Sitting Bull Auction, Williston. Selling will be 65 deep-ribbed and stout yearlings and 65 fancy purebred replacement heifers. All the cattle have been fed here at the ranch with you, the buyer, in mind for longevity, soundness, and performance in the pasture. Feeding arrangements are available until May 15th with a 90-day breeding season guarantee. Sires include Styles Jumbo, Split Diamond Acclaim, TK Circuit Breakers, Musgrave Jumbo, LBS Stunner, TK Worldwide, TK Unlimited, and more. View their catalog online at HowlandsActionAuction.com or DBAuction.com. Or for more info, call Ryan, 701-570-0571 Butch at 701-834-2320 or Robert at 701-570-6441. Lunch will be served at the LBS Angus 24th Annual Production Sale, Monday, March 11th, 2 p.m., Sitting Bull Auction, Williston.
Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next sale. A written bid lease is due coming up Monday, February 19th. On Wednesday, February 28th is an online auction of 120 acres near Wells County. On Tuesday, March 5th is an online auction of 314 acres in Barnes County. And on Thursday, March 7th, 1,280 acres in Williams County. For more information and to bid with confidence, go to Pfeifers.com today. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. You can hear my daily program on over 20 stations throughout North and South Dakota. Appreciate that very, very much for all the stations carrying me nearly 2 decades now here. As I'm showing my age here. But Shelby, Armin, and Connor Brockhouse are my guests here today from the Black Hills of South Dakota. Actually, not right now. You guys are in Wyoming. What are you doing down that way, Shelby?
We just took a little trip. His parents took a little trip this weekend, and so we decided kind of a downtime this time of the year for us and just to get out. So we went down to Buffalo and Thermopolis. Now we're in Cody and probably going to beep up today and either head back today or tomorrow. So
okay. I have a text message came in and for a question for Connor. You ready for this one, Connor?
Yes, sir.
When are you going to invite Shelby's dad down to hunt?
Oh, goodness. He needs to come down right now.
Well, you're not there.
Yeah, I will be eventually. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So there you go. Questions coming in. Question also came in and says, when you spot and stalk, what's the easiest way to identify mountain lion tracks versus in some areas, right? You're getting some wolves out there now. And very different tracks, but a lot of people don't really identify them because they're both pretty big size tracks. What's the easiest way to identify a mountain lion track in snow?
Well, number one, a mountain lion track is going to have no claws. Like there's going to be, unless they're like on the chase or they're going up a weird angle, you might see a tiny portion of one, but for the most part, 99% of the time, it's going to be a perfectly round track with no claws. And compared to like a wolf or a coyote, they're going to be a little bit of a longer track. You're going to be able to see, those claws a lot better than a mountain lion. Mountain lions, they walk real perfect too, usually in a real straight line where, I don't know about wolves, but I know coyotes, they'll zigzag a little bit. Whereas cats are just like, it looks almost so perfect that it's not even real, and they're just big round tracks. They're pretty, like you can be cruising 50 down the road and I can usually spot one, driving out the window. So,
and another identifier that I like to use is a mountain lion track usually has that tail drag that you see every once in a while in between the tracks.
Yep.
Yeah. Now the text come in right away. It says, have Shelby or Connor ever cut wolf tracks in the hills? Have you ever done that?
I have not, but my dad and brother have actually seen one on the edge of the hills here. That was probably about 2 years back. There's definitely starting to be a couple in the area. I've been talking to some ranchers that I coyote hunt on, and they say that they've supposedly been seeing a few here and there. So, I mean, they're definitely moving in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is what South Dakota's rules are pretty open on wolves, aren't they? Isn't it pretty much open, I think?
You know, I'd have to double check. I know it was open. Like if you saw one, you could whack it.
Yeah.
But I want to say that might have gotten changed. I don't know. I'd have to look into it more.
Okay, no doubt about that. We're not telling anybody on the air right now. If you're listening in South Dakota, just if you see one, go whack it. Check with your game and fish laws before you go and do that. Have a little bit of common sense on that. But so as you're hunting, Shelby, have you gotten on some of this spot and stock on a mountain lion so far? Have you been on one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So this year I was with on the first kill. It was like opening morning and we just got fresh snow and it was still snowing, but the boys are so run and gun that I was like, oh, I'll just like stay back, along the side here and, if it cuts back at all. But that was a very quick and exciting hunt. And then I've gone out a couple times with dad and brother and just followed our last year. One of our buddies, when he was leaving the house, actually saw a mountain lion run in front of their vehicle. So then the next morning we went out on that track, but found a couple old kills, but nothing. So I've been out a few times, here and there going with the tracks, but it is fun.
So are you
sure. A lot more fun when there's not 3 feet of snow.
So everybody has a job when you go on a spot and stock. What's your job, Shelby?
I just tag along and go with.
I thought you'd have like a camera out. I thought you'd be filming the other people or something, having a different angle.
I have my phone.
Yeah.
I should. The whole thing with the cat hunting for filming is, you never know if you're actually going to get on one. So it's like we just kind of go out thinking la-di-da with it. And then when it happens so fast and like the adrenaline's just going. So we usually forget. Yeah. But if I were to be on the next time, I'd try to film with my phone. But I usually carry a gun too. So.
You want to know what your dad just texted me that you do?
What?
You keep the pickup warmed up.
Yeah, you never know. I was with my luck. I would have it cut back and be like, "Oh my goodness!"
Somebody's got to pick them up down the road 2 miles, right? Somebody's got to do that.
Oh yeah. I'm the driver.
Yeah, there you go. Connor, how long of a spot and stock? How short can it be? How long can it be? And are you using dogs, or are you just going out here and following tracks?
We just strictly boot hunt, and I mean it varies so much. We've killed a few that are dang near right off the road. We get lucky and cut just the absolute heater of a track, within an hour. But then other times, if you aren't cutting a whole lot and you're going after a little bit of an older track, I mean, they'll lead you miles and miles, and the country that they go through is just it's unlike a deer or anything. They're up in the rocks. They're going up the steepest thing they can find. So, I mean, it varies. We'll go after them, within 500 yards and be able to get on them. And other times you'll walk for miles and, never see anything. So
when you get on a mountain lion, is it natural instinct for them to jump up on a tree right away, or do they continue running on the ground?
So the whole thing with the boot hunter, the style that we do it is we want to go undetected. So, we go in super quiet and we just try to, a lot of times what we'll end up doing is calling for the cats. Mm-hmm. So we never, go running in there to where we spook the mountain lion to where it'll, take off running. I've never heard of, them running up a tree due to human pressure. Right. But I'm sure it could happen.
Yeah. What kind of calls are you using? I mean, I love predator hunting. We call in a lot of coyotes here this year. It's a little bit tougher for coyote activity at the ranch this year because it's such an open winter until just this last week. We finally got some snow, but it was really, really hard to see these coyotes. I'm really, really down on what I usually shoot for the year, but it's still fun to go out and do. So what kind of sounds are you using for mountain lions?
I usually like running a fawn distress. My dad's also killed it. killed one off of using a jackrabbit. But any sort of distress, like I said, I like to use fawn 90% of the time. So that's usually my go-to for mountain lions. Obviously, that changes, when I hunt coyotes. But for mountain lions, that's what I use.
What are you using on coyotes right now?
Usually more of coyote vocals. They're breeding, so I'll do coyote fights, breeding fights. I've had a couple coming off of a distress, but for the most part, this time of year, you're running more of a coyote-based sounds.
Have you ever tried magpie sounds?
I have not.
Okay, so we have a lot of magpies in our area, and I have had such good luck this year. It's like I guarantee every time I hit the magpie, there's something coming in, not necessarily always within shooting range, but I get their attention. At least I know where they're at, so I can set up my next stand over there. But the magpies, I don't know if you have them down in the Black Hills as much as we do in some areas up this way.
Interesting. Yeah, we definitely have them. I'll have to give that a shot.
Yeah.
I've never really heard of it, but I mean, if it works, hey, why not?
The old saying that my buddy down in Wyoming always says, every coyote's got a magpie, but not every magpie's got a coyote. So I use it a lot. If I'm out there hunting or anything, the first thing I do is sit down and kind of glass a little bit. And if I see magpies, I know there's probably going to be a coyote in that area. So, and it works out probably 8 out of 10 times. It works pretty good. But anyway, well, second break is coming up here. We got another 5-minute break for you two. And then we're getting into the second half of the program. Have some questions coming up on the YouTube feed. Got some more text messages here about other animals that you guys are going after here on in the Black Hills. So we'll talk about that. Stay with us here. More with Shelby Arman and Connor Brockhouse coming up. You can find Brockhouse on YouTube. Just search that on some of their videos that they put up, hunting all kinds of animals. We'll have more coming up your way. Dakota Prairie Outdoors continues on a beautiful Saturday morning. Depending on where you're at, if you're Scott Bulgy, you're in Florida. I'm guaranteeing it's pretty nice down that way. Join us in the seats Monday, March 4th for the Sorensen Ranch Production Sale. 1 p.m. Central Time, Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota. They're your source for Sim-Angus bulls that are bred for docility, longevity, fertility, and calves that'll push the scale down. Average birth weight of 80 pounds, average 205 weight is 756 pounds. Selling 42 Sim-Angus bulls and 50 commercial open heifers. For more information, call Lauren at 701-641-1140. The Sorensen Ranch Production Sale, Monday, March 4th, Sitting Bull Auction.
I'm Dale Falke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner in ag lending. With our deep understanding and appreciation for the Western way of life, we proudly accept, respect, and promote the values that define our community. Whether you're a farmer, rancher, or business owner, we are here to support your financial needs and help you thrive. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for all your banking needs.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Hello, producers. This is Travis for Smith Saddle Butte Ranch. I wanted to invite everyone to our President's Day bull sale on Monday, February 19th. We will be selling 50 bulls, none of which have been fed corn or creep a day of their life, just cows, milk, and grass. We don't need or want to mislead anyone about their true growth. Call me, Travis, at 605-641-5288 or check us out on Facebook. That's the Smith Saddle Butte Ranch Bull Sale, Monday, February 19th at 1 p.m. at Bowman Livestock Marketing in Bowman, North Dakota.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, Bowman, North Dakota. Upcoming sale dates, no sale on Monday, February 12th. On Monday, February 19th, it's going to be a regular sale plus the Smith Saddle Butte Ranch Bull Sale plus bred cow sale. On Saturday, February 24th is a feeder calf special, and Monday, February 26th, back to the regular sales. If you have any questions, you can contact Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs.
LBS Angus welcomes you to their 24th annual production sale, Monday, March 11th, 2 p.m. at Sitting Bull Auction, Williston. Selling will be 65 deep-ribbed and stout yearlings and 65 fancy purebred replacement heifers. All the cattle have been fed here at the ranch with you, the buyer, in mind for longevity, soundness, and performance in the pasture. Feeding arrangements are available until May 15th with a 90-day breeding season guarantee. Sires include Styles Jumbo, Split Diamond Acclaim, TK Circuit Breakers, Musgrave Jumbo, LBS Stunner, TK Worldwide, TK Unlimited, and more. View their catalog online at HowlandsActionAuction.com or DVAuction.com. Or for more info, call Ryan 701-570-0571, Butch at 701-834-2320, or Robert at 701-570-6441. Lunch will be served at the LBS Angus 24th Annual Production Sale, Monday, March 11th, 2 p.m., Sitting Bull Auction, Williston.
Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next sale. A written bid lease is due coming up Monday, February 19th. On Wednesday, February 28th is an online auction of 120 acres near Wells County. On Tuesday, March 5th is an online auction of 314 acres in Barnes County. And on Thursday, March 7th, 1,280 acres in Williams County. For more information and to bid with confidence, go to Pfeifers.com today. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition, reminding you about the DK Red Angus sale. Williston, North Dakota, Saturday, March 2nd. 65 purebred Red Angus, 12 Angus sired, 6 red and black Simmental, and 2 Char Red Angus, plus a lot of registered Red Angus heifers and some open commercial ones, too. So make sure to check it out, dkredangus.net here. Come talking with Shelby Arman and Connor Brockhouse here. See, every time I hear your last name, Connor, I think of the sled house and go want to get some good eats in Lead. I don't know if you've been there.
I haven't.
You haven't ate at the sled house?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Really? Okay. Well, there you go. You got to go there and have a little fun that way. Good old German food is what it is.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Question time. Are you guys ready for it?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. It says, what's your favorite critter to go after, Connor?
Ooh, probably mule deer with a bow.
Archery mule deer. Okay.
Yep.
And do you do the same thing, spot and stock, or do you set up tree stands or ground blinds?
For the most part, I'd say 95% of the time it's all spot and stock.
Yeah. Yeah. Which makes a little bit of difference when you're in the Black Hills. You got a little bit more cover that you can kind of work behind sometimes.
Right. And in the hills, it's definitely a little bit tougher to hunt mule deer. I do more of that kind of out on the prairie or the foothills.
Okay.
So.
Sure. How about you, Shelby? I mean, you're new to South Dakota. Are you a full resident now?
Yes, I am a full resident.
Okay. What are you? I mean, I know you grew up with the whitetail and the mule deer, especially a lot of whitetail. Since you've changed the locations, what's kind of piquing your interest in the hills?
I will more so out on the prairie, but this year I really want to take a mule deer, like do a spot and stock mule deer with my bow as well, since I've never done that. I've only killed mule deer with a rifle back home. So
okay. Well, I'm sure he'll, you got a little pressure now, Connor, because you're the one that's got to get her on this.
Oh, I've already got her on one. She didn't tell everyone about her miss.
Oh,
or her couple miss.
So there's more to the story. I see this. Okay.
it was a really good opportunity, but
she's going for redemption.
Yeah.
But
So-
Yeah, put it that way.
This is also a good thing to show, whether it's on television or your YouTube channel. Do you show your misses and maybe the flub ups?
Oh yeah, we definitely try to show, like, it's not always perfect. Your shot isn't always a heart shot. We try to show that as much as we can, because I mean, in real life that is the case. You just don't always make the greatest shot, or everything doesn't go down as perfect as you'd want it.
Yeah.
So.
Do you leave the comments on your YouTube channel?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bet that gets interesting, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's always, different people with different opinions. So
Yeah. You just got to like a buddy of mine out in Minnesota says, water off a duck's back. You just got to live your life and have a little bit of fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One Shot Cap messages in. He says, are mountain lions mostly nocturnal?
I would say yes. I have seen them. We actually, the one that we just, that my dad killed here not too long ago, we got lucky and seen it off the road, in the middle of the day. But for the most part, like when you get a good snow and it lets up in that night, when there's not any snow happening, a lot of times those cats will be moving a lot during that night, and then into the early morning hours. So then when you go out, you'll try to cut a track from, the early morning or sometime during the night.
Sure. Yeah, you look at sometimes, I mean, the hills get snow quite a bit here, maybe not this year, but last year they got a lot of snow.
Right.
Does it ever get too deep to where it's like, this is a lot of work trying to get after this cat?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, like in a perfect world, I would say like 3, 4 inches is like good. I mean, you're still slipping around everywhere, but once you get more snow than that, to your point, it just gets to be a bugger, accessing, different spots, or, going after a track when it's super deep, just because it takes that extra energy to, keep moving.
Yeah. How is it with private land and with the hills and the BLM land down that way? Do you ever get to a point where you're tracking a cat and you come up against some private property, like, we got to stop right here?
I haven't had that issue. The Black Hills is, the National Forest Service, and I can't remember the amount of acres off the top of my head, but it is, a crazy amount. There's so much ground that you could go around that's all public. So I've never ran into that issue. I mean, it definitely is a possibility. The only thing that I ever have to kind of watch out for is if I, around certain parks, if I cut a track, that's heading in the direction of a park, I just got to make sure, I have Onyx up and make sure that I don't ever go across that line and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. I forget about certain parks in South Dakota have different rules, don't they? I mean, that's
right.
Yeah. You got to watch out for those rules. When it comes to deer hunting, what's the population mule deer versus whitetail in your area?
I mean, I would say in the Black Hills, probably 90% whitetail, 10% mule deer. There's not a whole lot of mule deer.
Really?
You'll see a few here and there. But for the most part, in the heart of the hills, you're going to run into mainly whitetail. And our whitetail on the hills are a lot smaller. Some people may consider like almost a little subspecies of whitetail. They're super small bodied. They just don't have, the nutrients. And their antlers, if you get a 140-inch deer in the hills, that's a really, really big hill deer. So.
Well, Shelby, that's a little bit different from what you're doing at the ranch with your dad, with food plots. And I mean, of course, you guys live on the Heart River where there's a lot of irrigation. Some of the bigger deer down that way too. Was it a change when you got to see some of the whitetail in the hills area?
Oh yeah. I'm like, he's like, no, that's a really good hills buck. I'm like, really? That's the thing here. So that was an adjustment, but then they kind of like explained it to me. I'm like, okay. So it, like Hunter said, it really is like a little subspecies.
Yeah. Well,
they're beautiful. They got the dark chocolate horn, and
well, you also have to think too, they're not growing up on corn and grain fields and everything like that, like they do in certain areas of the Dakotas. The Black Hills has, what it is. right? Different size deer with depending on the different type of nutrition that they might get too. But on the mule deer side, though, there's some pretty good sized mule deer down there, isn't there?
Yeah, there's definitely some big ones. You know, in the hills, it's a lot tougher to find them. So I've seen a handful of real solid hills mule deer, but for the most part, we always do most of our mule deer hunting on the edges of the hills or the prairie and whatnot. So,
Shelby, what's your favorite critter to go after of all the things that you've taken so far?
Hoofda. I don't know. I really do. I do love just deer hunting in general. I love, it's obviously like I took a couple years and like this year, last year I got back on my, streak of killing, but, yeah, definitely just love the whitetail and the mule deer.
See, that's the part. I thought you were going to say pronghorn antelope. I really did. Because
I've been doing that so long, and like they make me angry. The last
right,
couple
but I can just see how exciting it was to sit in a blind with your dad for 14 straight hours on a 95-degree day.
You know, as wonderful and fabulous that sounds, it was a little tough. It was very tough. Connor and I sat. Was it last year? 2 years ago, we sat and all day, and like it was almost where these antelope, we get in there not even like 5 minutes into the blind, and this whole herd just comes charging in, and we're like, holy crap, this is gonna happen so fast. And then they totally veered off and did not want anything to do with us. So it was like very, very depressing. Then we sat all day and nothing came to water. So
yeah,
it definitely has its ups and downs.
Connor, your version of pronghorn antelope hunting, what do you think about it?
I love antelope hunting, spot and stalk style. I've tried the whole blind thing, and I don't have the patience to do that. I mean, for people who do, great. I mean, it's a very effective way to kill antelope, but I just can't get myself to sit in the blind for 12, 13, 14 hours a day.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that one too. So when you spot and stalk antelope, are you using any kind of decoys that you walk behind, or how did you go about yours?
Yeah, we'll use the ones that we walk behind. Once it gets closer to the antelope rut, there in September. But early on, what I do like 95% of the time is it's called a stalker decoy. They sell them online. They probably sell them in stores too. But I buy a doe antelope, and it comes with these little straps, and you just strap it right onto the riser of your bow.
Yep.
And it sits out right in front of you. So I use that just as when you're spotting and stalking them, if you've ever hunted antelope, they don't miss anything, especially when you get inside their bubble. So I think having that decoy on will give me a couple extra seconds, to get a range off or to draw my bow back and get a shot off. I definitely think it helps just, relax the antelope for a couple more seconds.
Text message comes in, says, what do you guys, besides what's your favorite critter to hunt, what's your favorite critter to eat?
Ooh, I'd probably say elk.
Yeah.
That would probably be my go-to.
Yeah,
I love all wild game, but elk would probably be my number one.
Shelby?
Elk is definitely my favorite.
So I'd be right at the top between pronghorn and elk. And
I agree.
Yeah, a lot of people are probably thinking right now, really, Scott, pronghorn? If you take care of it very quickly and get it cooled down and take care of the meat right away, it is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah. If I'm eating like a steak, I would probably pick an antelope over an elk. But if it's burger, I like elk burger.
Yeah, that I can tell you. Yeah. But antelope tenderloin, come on, that's
nothing beats it.
You can't beat that. And you guys probably, I'm sure, do you cover any of the cleaning, gutting deer out, skinning it, taking care of the meat on your YouTube channel?
We haven't done a video on that yet.
That's a tough one because they might kick you off of YouTube for that, right? I mean,
right. You got to be careful with what you post.
Yeah.
And our style, I would say, almost all the game that we take, it's all, we quarter it in the field, sometimes even debone it in the field. We really never gut them just because usually we have to pack them out of places, but that's usually what we end up doing.
Yeah. That's interesting. When they let you be able to spot and stalk and everything on certain formats of social media, but they all have guidelines, and
Right.
you gotta kind of follow those. And sometimes the guidelines don't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but all right. So, any kind of upland bird hunting at all for you guys down in that area?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to be had. Not necessarily in the Black Hills. You can still find some grouse here and there, but if you go out on the prairie, right next to the hills, there's grouse. You can even find pockets of pheasant. So there's definitely opportunities for upland hunting in our neck of the woods.
How about waterfowl hunting?
Oh yeah, there's
got plenty of lakes around there.
Yeah, similar to the upland, nothing in the hills. Not really many birds can, there's just no agriculture around in the Black Hills, so there's no place for them to feed. But in the foothills or right on the edge of the hills, there's plenty of Canadian geese that come by, and also ducks. So we definitely get out and do that as much as we can.
So you just said something I'm going to point out here to everybody. There's not as much agriculture, so this is why I think farming and ranching works so well with hunting. You get bigger deer when you got more food and fuel for their bodies, right? And you have more opportunities. It might be a little difficult with the access point of private land ownership versus the vast amounts of the Forest Service ground, which I have a lot of Forest Service ground where I live here too in my area, but there's pockets of agriculture. So you see these deer. You see, not so much pheasant in my area, but grouse are really big this year. The one pheasant we do have looks pretty good. Just not a pheasant area where I live, but the EHD took deer 2 years ago really bad. I mean, it wiped out all the whitetail and made a lot of the mule deer sick, but they're slowly coming back. But the elk population is increased over the last couple of years like crazy. And so it's kind of nice to see how agriculture works together with hunting. And if people don't believe it, trust me, it does work together very nicely. No doubt about that. So what's you guys' plans here for do you guys do turkey season down that way? What's your scoop on that?
Yeah, we're going to be kicking off turkey season. Shelby and I are actually going to go to Texas and shoot a Rio down there. And then we'll each get a couple tags in and around the hills there, so we'll do a bunch of turkey hunting there, and it's always good. I mean, our turkey population in the hills is definitely down from what it used to be.
Okay.
But on the prairie, there's definitely a lot to be had. So
when
we always end up.
When you say prairie, where about? You're in the Hill City area, aren't you?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's anywhere like east of Rapid, right?
Okay.
Anywhere you get out of the Black Hills. And further to the east, the whole western half of South Dakota, we just kind of consider it the prairie.
Okay. All right. The western or eastern half?
The western. Eastern is where the farm ground is.
Oh, okay. So I see what you say. Okay, I see how you go that way. All right. So the prairie, gotcha. I'm getting this South Dakota lingo. Shelby, did they make fun of anything that you said, like when you bring out the oofdas or anything? Did they give you a hard time about that moving down that way?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much just have language, so when people meet me, they have to get used to it a little bit, but
somebody told me
I
that
definitely have to sort of come out.
Yeah. Somebody told me that they split the states the wrong way. It should have been East Dakota, West Dakota one time.
yeah, that would be good.
So, well, coming up here, how can people find more information about your YouTube channel? Do you do a lot of social media there, Connor and Shelby? Do you guys do more than just on YouTube, or how do you promote yourself?
Yeah, through YouTube and then through Instagram, I would say is one of our bigger ones, which you can find us on Instagram with the same last name, Brockhouse, and then Shelby. I think, Shelby, what is your Instagram?
Just Shelby Armin. Yep, that's usually the platform. And I'm on Facebook too, but most of it's on Instagram.
So you guys are kind of younger. Is Facebook a thing of the past, or are people still using this thing, or what?
I would say people are definitely, I mean, we still use it.
You still like
but
it?
It's definitely probably of the past for like the younger generation, but I'm 26, so I still go. I love Facebook Marketplace.
Well, that's true. I spend a lot of time on the Black Hills Facebook Marketplace. There's no doubt about that. But you say the younger generations, what's younger than 26? Oh, my Lord. Good grief.
Oh, it's 20, 21, 22, I would say, and then below. Like, yeah, there's just a different gap of.
What are they using?
What? Well, they're like on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. Like, TikTok's a huge thing, and just like the fast-paced reels, which Dad always gets mad at me because I don't post as much as I probably should. But I like to enjoy my life, not on my.
But how do you get the information to the younger crowd? I mean, if you're 26 and you don't think you're young, and you're like, how do I get this? How do I get younger people watching and seeing what hunting's all about and get those people into it? How do you get that message to them?
I have to post some reels, I think, and be more active on it, like post constantly, which I'm not good at. So, but.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to have got you guys both on here. Connor, anything last minute here? You got about 30 seconds before we got to close out the program here.
Oh, nothing really. I just appreciate you having me on and being able to talk about what I like to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, I might go to you guys every once in a while here and have a little fun in the South Dakota side too. And if I get down in that area, I'll let you guys know. And if you have nothing going on, I'll buy you a meal at the sled house.
Absolutely. Sounds like a plan.
But here's the thing is I'm actually going to invite your dad to come down. So Shelby, yeah. I don't know Connor's dad, so I can't say that. I got to be specific on which one I'm doing here. So, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Have yourself a good weekend out in Wyoming, and we'll catch up with you later.
Right on. Thanks. Take care.
You bet. You bet. Connor Brockhouse and Shelby Armin. Again, you can find their hunting program on YouTube, just called Brockhouse. You bet. Thank you, Mr. Matthew Olson, South Dakota. Awesome place to hunt. Good enough. Have yourself a great week and enjoy. Eat some meat, drink some milk, wear fur and wool, and enjoy the outdoors. Have yourself a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. There we go. Shelby still here. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
I'm here. Hung up on my half.
Yeah. I see. I see that. I see that. Yeah. No, I appreciate you guys very much. Taking a weekend off. I know it's not easy sometimes, but one of the last live radio shows around on the weekend, so we got to keep that going.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was fun. I appreciate you having us on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to introduce you to a lot of the listeners. I'm be interested to see how many people are going to go on your YouTube channel now just by listening across 2 states, or actually 6 states and 2 Canadian provinces are listening. So it'll be interesting to see if you get any bump on your channel or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to look at that.
For sure.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I'm going to go feed cows, and I'm going to set up. I'm starting a cab next week here because my neighbor's bull got out in my cows last year, so a little bit early. So yeah.
That's terrible. That's early to be calvy.
Some people calve early.
I know, but like miserable if you have a lot of snow. Not fun.
Yeah, I spent all week this week here just moving snow out of the corrals, just getting ready to bring my heifers in and these early cows and what have you. So it'll be interesting. It's supposed to be up to 47, 50 degrees here at the ranch here this week. So it'll melt and get muddy and all the kinds of good stuff.
Oh, yeah. And do you still normal brand? Like do the traditional branding?
Oh, baby. All the time. It's May 31st this year.
Yeah, Dad now have to come down or Connor will be on his tack tour, but I don't know if he made it out last year.
No, he went bear. He went bear hunting instead.
Well, I canceled. I'm not going this year. Rob was like, we can't find a good group. And it's just, last year was just tough. And it's like, we're paying $1,200, but it's just like the old Canadian way. And it's pretty, where we go, lazy and ghetto.
Yeah.
So, Dad, I was telling him, we went to the sports show in Rapid, and I was like, there's all these bear hunts, and they're all like a minimum, like 4,000, between $4,000 and $5,000. And Dad's like, that's a lot of money. And I'm like, think about all the money we spent the last like 10 years and having killed a freaking bear.
Yeah.
And, it's like a guarantee.
That's why once a year I go over to Mobridge and I hire a guide because he has a boat, he has all the fishing rods and tackle, and he knows where to go. And I'm more than happy to pay somebody that knows where to go. It's just like if somebody wants to come out prairie dog shooting, I'll tell you where to go. I know where to go. I got that covered.
Yeah.
Right. But I got two people.
I know we get two guys are like, we haven't been baiting or and I'm like, I mean, it's rough, and it is fun, but it's like then you don't really fish because you're trying to chase bears, and I'm like, Dad's like, I just had a really bad experience last year, and I was like sick before we went, and I was like, I might sit this one out.
So I just got two people message me. They just subscribed to your channel right now, so got it taken care of.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, you guys have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy.
Thank you. You too.
You bet. Catch you later. See ya. Well, YouTube, thanks, Waylon, for doing that. Gene, appreciate you guys tuning in here this morning. Thank you so much. I'm going to go, let's see here. We warmed up to 45 degrees in the studio here in the last hour. This heater right here, not enough. Not enough. So I talked to a neighbor, neighbor of mine about a wood pellet stove. And how they liked it because you don't have to go through the roof with the chimney. You can direct vent it straight out. If you know of anything, and if you played with those, let me know if that would be helpful, because I would mount it right in underneath the desk. So we would like roast chestnuts on open fire type of thing. So have yourself a good day, everybody. Enjoy the warmer temperatures around the corner.